Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Just before I carry on, this video will be in two parts because I had some technical issues, and so the second part of the video I actually shot, well, the whole video I shot the other day, but I had to delete and start the first half again due to some technical issues, as I say. Anyway, just reshooting the first bit, so hopefully it'll all make sense when it's put together. So we're here to talk about wedges, specifically comparing our wedges against pros, and it's an interesting topic because some useful stats for everyone that you may or may not know is that from 125 to 100 meters in, pros hit the green 75% of the time, roughly 7 out of every 10 shots. And for inside 100, they hit the green 80% of the time, so 8 out of 10 shots. So how do we get better at our wedges? One of the ways to do that is to flight our wedges like the pros do. Flight them in a bit lower with more spin. And it's an interesting statistic that the elevation or the window of elevation that pros are looking for is between 26 to 30 degrees when they flight in those wedges in. Now, it's no coincidence that that number is half of the wedge they're using. For example, a 60-degree wedge, 30 degrees is half. A 50-degree wedge, 25 degrees is half. So they're looking for that optimal 26 to 30 degree window to launch their wedges lower, more spin, and control their trajectory in. Now, this isn't for every wedge shot. Obviously, wedges are built with lots of loft, and so that you can hit the ball higher and that you've got a steeper descending angle coming in to create that stopping power. However, we don't want to be hitting all of our wedges 100%. If you examine your round, and over the course of a round you're finding that you're bashing every wedge at your maximum, well, chances are you're going to be coming up short. You've got to be really precise and hit the ball well. So the first tip is don't hit a full wedge shot. Don't always hit your wedge shots at 100%. Try and flight it down. And I'll speak to that in a second, because the good news is the technique, there's not actually that much technique. It's quite a simple thing. So when it comes to flighting your wedges in, what you'll see later on in the video is that I actually set up to a 75 meter pin, and I'm using a gap wedge. Now my gap wedge, if I hit it, pretty much full out, or a solid swing, I'm hitting at 100 meters. But on the video, you'll see that I'm using the gap wedge to flight the ball in lower and to a 75 meter pin. And really, when it comes to technique, as I say, the technique is quite simple. We take our normal stance, we make sure we set up nicely and our alignment is good. However, the concept is that we are just minimizing or hitting a three-quarter swing, right? So, for example, with a gap wedge, my 75 meter swing might be to here, which, as Bryson would say, is 9 o'clock, and then I'm coming through and it's a sawn-off swing coming through. So it's something that you need to play with, and I'd really encourage you to get into a facility like the T block that you'll see me in, because it's somewhere where you can really look at the data. If you don't have access to an indoor facility, try and pick various targets on the range where you're hitting more club into that distance. So if you hit your gap wedge 100, find the 75 meter, 60 meter, 80 meter, whatever it is flag, and try hit lower shots to that. Use 5 balls. Practice hitting those lower shots, and it's actually something you can do in your long game as well. Even when you're practicing, take more club and hit that into the green. From a stance point of view, the other way to control your distance, apart from restricting your backswing and follow through, is to narrow your feet down. So the narrower your feet are, the shorter distance you're going to hit it. The wider, the further you're going to be able to hit it. When it comes to setup, we don't want the shaft leaning forward, right? The shaft leaning forward is going to accentuate that leading edge digging into the turf. We really want to set up with the shaft being fairly vertical and feel like we're brushing the grass as we go through. So it's a brushing of the grass motion. I like the way Padraig Harrington explains it. He says you're looking for the perfect dollar bill. He said if you can hit your wedges and flight them in and take a divot that's no more than a dollar bill, he said you're pretty much on to hitting your wedges close. I'm not sure of the statistics of proximity to the hole that the pros, the average, from inside 100, for example, would be. But I can guarantee you that if we all practice our wedges and learn to flight them in like the pros, we're going to get closer to the hole. It's just a given. So give it a go. As I say, the keys are normal setup, vary the length of your shot by narrowing or widening your stance depending on how you want to hit it. Take more club, so take one more club for example, start with that, see how you go, one more club and hit it. As I say, you'll see in the videos my gap wedge is going about 75 and I normally hit that quite a bit further, and it's just a really solid way to dial in your wedges. So guys, I'm set up at 75 meters. I'm using a gap wedge, as I said, which normally goes a lot further, and I'm just going to try and hit a few shots and control that flight. And then what we'll do is look at the analysis of those shots and see how I did, basically. See if I got it within that 26 to 30 degree window. Let's see how we go. Wow, nearly holed the first one. Caught it slightly thin, but nonetheless still a good shot. Not bad, another good shot. Just controlling that flight again, just trying. My feel is that I'm swinging to about halfway up here. As I say, in reality it might be going a bit further, but that's my feel. So halfway through here and then sawn off, follow through. I'm going to hit 3 more, 5 in total, and then we'll just sort of see how we went. A little bit shorter on that one. Felt like I got that up too high and I didn't really get through and control the flight, but we'll see the data when we're finished. Again, slightly short, but that actually felt a lot better from a trajectory point of view. Pretty happy with that. Another pretty close shot. Anyway, let's take a look and see how we went. So here's the side-by-side comparison of the data, guys. Just to give you another view. There's the 5 shots. As you can see, the first shot that I hit was basically the optimal shot. So 71 miles per hour roughly ball speed, 25.9 degrees launch angle, and basically it was only 0.2 meters offline. So that was the first shot that I hit that landed really close. As you can see, after that I sort of started getting a little bit too high. I think you'd have heard me comment on the fact that I could feel that I hit a couple of them high. Still not bad numbers though. On average 31.4. It's not a hang of a far way out of that range that I'm looking for, and an average ball speed of 69.7. In terms of my average to the pin, we can see over there on the far side here that it's about 3.9 meters. So if we took out the third and fourth one, if we could get that a bit closer, improve that, basically we're giving ourselves, from a proximity to the hole point of view, a lot better chance of getting a birdie, or if we're having to get up and down, getting a par. You know, I can hit the same shot with the sand wedge, and it's not a bad thing to practice and hit that sand wedge and try and flight it down and see if you can get in that window that we're talking about. But at the end of the day, it's whatever works for you. We're all individuals, we all set up differently, we've got to figure it out and work it out. But essentially, you know, golf's a game of, you know, who controls their misses the most, or the best, and should I say, and proximity to the hole is really what counts for birdies, right? The further you're away, the stats, as I say, the data doesn't lie, the less putts you're going to make. So I really believe that this is one of the areas of the game that basically just separates really good players from just average players, right? If you can hit it closer to the hole, you're going to get more birdies and you're going to be a lot happier with your golf game. In the last couple of rounds I've played, I've had 4 birdies in both rounds, and my proximity to the hole has been a lot closer, which is basically what has helped me to get those 4 birdies. So not bad going. Obviously I've had a few bogeys as well, but at the end of the day, if I wasn't getting the birdies, it's going to look a lot different, my scorecard. So guys, I really encourage you to come to a facility like this if you can. Check out the data. It's really helpful. Give it a go. Thanks for listening and watching. Appreciate it if you post any comments, any suggestions in the comments below. I feel like I'm getting into a bit of a rhythm with this now, learning how to put everything together for you guys. So I appreciate you watching, and if you can like it, subscribe, and feel free to share this with any of your friends who you feel might benefit from being having a better wedge game. Anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. This was just a short one to pass on some stats and a good way to practice your wedge shots and see how you go. Be interested to see how you do go. Come back and put a comment in the comments. It'd be good to get some feedback and see how everyone's going. I've started practicing this in the last couple of weeks, a lot more than I used to, and I can honestly say, I've started to see some of the benefits of it. So give it a go. Thanks for tuning in. And also I'd just like to give a shout out to the T-Block again. The details will be at the end of this video. But the T-Block in Hope Island, if you're in the area, it's a great facility. Come in. You can set it up and really dial in and get some data on your wedges. And as they say, guys, the data doesn't lie. So give it a go. And other than that, over and out. See you in the next one. Have a good day. Cheers.